I just wanna make you mine, 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 mine. I just wanna make you mine.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is another coach's vlog. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is another Coach's vlog. We are at the PCA East Anglia show for Nina. She is competing in her first ever show as a Masters bikini competitor. Bit of a special one for me because she was one of my first ever clients when I first started coaching. She first came to me just for weight loss, doing home workouts. Fast forward 2 years, she's now stepping on the PCA stage for the first time, looking amazing. So let's see how she gets on. Lovely.
I just wanna make you mine.
Good night.
I just wanna make you. I just wanna make you. I just wanna make you.
Lovely.
I just wanna make you mine.
Good. Beautiful. Now you see what actually goes on behind the scenes of our competition.
I know, I'm going to say so proud.
To get as much content as possible. We're having a little coffee break, aren't we, darling?
We are very tired.
Got chicken wrap, watermelon and an iced latte because it is literally 30 degrees today, which is wonderful. So you would have just seen we did an in-person check-in with Nina just now. Already done a check-in with her this morning for her first meal and water of the day. Obviously it's quite hot, so we need to manage water because that can really make you flatten out and not be able to get a pump. So we just did an in-person check-in to make sure she's looking all good. That's your toasting. And she's gone off to have another bit of food and some more water, and then she should be on in around about an hour and a half-ish. So yeah, she's looking very good and very excited.
You'd think that both of these two ham toasties are for her, one each, but they're not, they're both for me.
Both for him.
Both for me.
He bought some watermelon though. Cool, let's go through, let's do 2 rounds. Make it good, big smiles.
I'm lacking with all.
It's alright, that's all I will scream at you anyway. Glutes up from behind. Good, perfect. Lovely. Good, glutes really high. Good, squeeze those legs together. Good. Lovely. Good, lovely. And really slow. Good. Perfect. Good, stunning. And then one more round. Nice and slow. Good. Good, lovely. And quarter turn to the right. Good. You get a close up of that. Or did you not give them much?
I did. I said I like blue. I like purple. Just go with it.
Go wild. Let's go, Nina! throughout the show day to show you what was going on, what happened, how she looked on stage, and a little bit of behind the scenes. But now what I'm going to do is take you through kind of like a case study of Nina's progress total. She had been with me for a little over 2 years, and I'm going to show you how she went from this to this in 2 years. An amazing transformation, an amazing difference, and I mean, what an incredible feat for somebody, right? What an achievement. And a lot of you probably wanting to get into competing, wanting to learn more about the bikini world, you're probably thinking, where on earth do I start? How does someone go literally from this to this? How does one get on stage? That could never be me. I could never dream of doing that. Must be nice for her. You know what I mean? You must think there must be some weird and wonderful secret that would help get me to stage. So I wanted to do a little bit of a case study today to basically tell all in terms of the process that we took to get Nina to stage and to have that amazing transformation. So, Nina has been with me for around about 2 years, a little over 2 years. When she first came to me, she just wanted to lose some body fat, literally just on a weight loss journey. It was still the pandemic, we were still in lockdown, and I believe we ended up losing anywhere around 5-6 kilos initially. And I'll pop up the pictures of her just general weight loss transformation. Obviously, in order to do this, we just ate in a calorie deficit. She was being consistent with her workouts. Shortly around this time, Nina did want to get into the gym. So the gyms had reopened now, lockdown was over. She wanted to get into the gym and follow a training plan. Initially, when we started going into the gym, we just started an upper-lower split. Now this detail is going to become very important when you do look at her stage shots, when you do look at her physique on stage. You cannot see a weakness. Front to back, upper to lower, pretty much well developed in every aspect. Yes, of course she could do with some more muscle, just generally speaking, even for the bikini division, but you wouldn't look at her physique and go, oh, you know, back wasn't, you know, big enough, or the glutes weren't big enough. Everything was developed to the same standard as each muscle group, and that's important for bikini. So when we started this upper-lower split, she was doing 2 upper sessions, 2 lower sessions. Each upper session we alternated between push and pull movements, and each lower body session we alternated between knee hip, we alternated between knee hinge and hip hinge movements, mainly compounds. She hadn't followed a proper training plan with me before, so we weren't just going to go in and do loads of dumbbell lateral raises and glute kickbacks and expecting that that was going to provide enough intensity to grow. So we went in and focused on the main compounds. A typical upper session may have looked like shoulder press into lat pull down, into chest press, into seated row, and then maybe a couple of isolations at the end. As you can see there, you have a vertical push, a horizontal push, a horizontal pull, and a vertical pull. You're training the upper body equally by doing that, and that is what made her physique nice and equal come show day. So once we'd followed this training plan for a little while, and obviously we could see the muscle develop, we were kind of reversing out of the cut, maintaining the body fat we had lost. This was around about the time when Nina expressed to me that she potentially would like to step on stage. She wanted all the information, hadn't even told anyone other than me, I don't think, and she just wanted all the information to consider the options. Like, would it be possible for her? Would it be something she was able to do? So what we actually decided to do, Nina decided she'd like to see if she could prep. So we decided to do a mock prep for 8 weeks in the lead up to a holiday. So she had a holiday in 8 weeks time, let's do it as a mock prep. So what we did was, for that 8 weeks, we mapped out a fat loss phase as if it was a prep. Prep is very different to a regular fat loss phase. There's going to be different variables, a lot more rigidity, and you're going to need to be a lot more in routine. And of course, I didn't take her stage lean during this mock prep, but we got her lean enough she was comfortable for holiday, and she would have practiced a lot of the process that would be required. We got to that holiday, she loved it, an amazing transformation once again. I'll pop up the pictures from when she decided she wanted to compete to the end of the mock prep. As you can see, great successful phase. From here, we then decided to reverse calories up. We decided to go into a building phase. Now we're seeing her in the poses because she's started learning how to do those. We could see what we needed to do. So we started reversing her food up, went into a building phase, and we stayed in that building phase, I want to say a good 8-9 months. We then went into a maintenance phase. Again, very important. If you are coming from a building phase to a prep, You do not want to go from a surplus to a deficit. That is not what you want to do. You'll see and hear so many stories of people saying, oh, I got my calories up to 3,500. I'm now on 1,800 and not losing weight. Yeah, because you're probably just not in a deficit. Just because you can get your calories that high does not mean you're then going to lose weight 500 below that. It really doesn't mean that. So what we want to do is we want to bring your calories down to the brink of a deficit. What I mean by that, the bottom of your maintenance range. So your maintenance calories are a range. So when you hear someone say to you, oh, my maintenance calories are 2,000, what they usually mean is it's anywhere between 1,800 and 2,200. So if we've maxed out your maintenance phase or we've been in a surplus, you've got a big chunk of calories to go before you actually hit a deficit. So that maintenance phase just brings you down to a brink of a deficit so that week 1 of prep, you can drop below that into a deficit. Nina and I then went on to do a 17 or 18 week prep. Usually, typically, we do anywhere between a 16 to 20 week prep. Nina actually had a holiday planned within the first few weeks of prep, so we decided to do a little bit longer than 16 weeks to account for that. So things like that can be done, okay? If you do have some trips away, it's not ideal, it's not optimal, but things can be done and we can account for it. So don't feel like you have to get rid of all social life and all plans when you prep, like a lot of people would scare you into thinking. Of course, you're not eating or drinking the same as anybody else, definitely not drinking the same as everybody else, but you can still enjoy yourself and incorporate those things. So with the 17 or 18 week prep, we went into a big enough deficit to start seeing 1% loss per week on average. So 1% on the scale. So if you weigh 70 kilos, you want to start seeing around 0.7 of a kilo on the scales per week. Or quarter of an inch off the waist and glutes on average per week as well. That is a pretty good rate of loss. Obviously, Nina had never prepped before, so this is where I come into play because I have to make a best judgment on roughly where I think her scale weight on stage is going to be. I'm very much data driven. I like to look at the data before making a change. I'm not just going to make a change to someone's prep for the fun of it. I want to make sure I'm actually making a change that is worthwhile doing. If I'm seeing that rate of progress happening, I'm not making a change. I don't need to for the sake of it. If I'm not seeing that progress happen, I'm not just going to sit there and check in and say, trust the process. You know, we're going for the data, it's not showing us what we want, we need to make a change. So that's the process that we went through. So I hope that gives a bit of an insight into how to break down the process required and the timeline required to step on stage and how long it might take you. Nina obviously didn't actually know she wanted to compete when she first came to me, so the actual amount of time we spent prepping for bikini is about a year. From the mock prep that we did, to the reversing up, to the building muscle, to the maintenance phase, to the actual prep itself, around about a year, but she had already lost some weight from that first initial picture that you saw. So hopefully breaking down the process, breaking down the steps required, does give you some reassurance and confidence. It makes it seem a little bit more tangible, it makes it seem like that's something you can actually do. When you just see the transformation, you just think, how on earth did she do that? How could I ever do that? And I think sometimes when people see a mad transformation, they assume that calories must have gone really, really low and cardio must have gone really, really high. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Nina's calories, training day 1500, rest day 1300 at the back end of prep, and cardio didn't go any more than 200 minutes across the week. So that is not per day, that is across the week. And so that's actually not that bad for a bikini prep. I definitely think the process and the phases that we went through to get her onto stage and how we took our time did result in the fact that we didn't have to go ridiculously low with food and we didn't have to go ridiculously high with cardio. If you're looking for more top tips on how to get to stage for the first time, do subscribe to my YouTube channel, do follow me on Instagram, it's Soph_body by Soph. If you are looking for a bikini prep coach, do reach out to me over Instagram, drop me a DM, we can have a chat, set your timeline, decide how long it's going to take you and get you on your way to getting